Hey everybody, Justin Cena here. In this video, I'm going to show you step-by-step how to stop fraud on Shopify. And as a Shopify store owner, you absolutely need to prevent fraud. I'm going to teach you how to do it the right way in this video. And fraud and things that come with it, chargebacks, inventory losses, negative reviews posted online, right? These things can ruin your Shopify store. They could really harm your brand, and they could drastically hurt your conversion rate and sales. So it's important to get your store set up to prevent fraud automatically. And a real popular strategy is to use the Fraud Judge Shopify app to prevent fraud, to prevent chargebacks, to prevent inventory losses and negative reviews with automatic order verification and some other really cool features that really lock down your store. And it's a really, really popular and easy to use app. It's going to really allow you to automatically prevent fraud. That's why we use it. And if you're not going to use the app, you're going to run into some pain points because there's no built-in way to do this with Shopify. You need to use the Fraud Judge app. You need to use an app that's super easy to use, require no prior technological skill. You'll be able to get Fraud Judge up and running literally in just a couple minutes. And most importantly, the app must automatically flag risky orders and request identity verification before processing orders to keep your store safe from fraud at all times. It's going to happen automatically in the background. You're not going to need to do a thing. And that's why I use Fraud Judge. That's why I highly recommend you to use Fraud Judge. And I'm going to show you how to install it step by step in this video. You see the link directly below this video right now. I'm going to go over the shoulder, show you the Fraud Judge fraud prevention app inside of Shopify. And all you need to do is press the install button to get this going. There's a free plan available. You'll be able to get started ASAP. And we're going to go over the shoulder. You can follow along as we go step by step and install Fraud Judge in one of my stores. So we'll go step by step. You press the install button over here, and this is now going to bring us over into the dashboard for Fraud Judge. And we're going to get a little step by step onboarding in order to get started. And with Fraud Judge, we're going to be able to set up all of this super easy inside of the app. Advanced and customized rules to flag risky orders. We're going to be able to go through each scenario, each option, customize the rules. We're going to literally be able to set rule parameters over here. You see that there's going to be options for each rule type, and literally all these different rules that we'll have granular options over. We could literally look at all these different scenarios, and we could look at things about email or address or phone or IP address or things about the order. And we could have select the option to, go to warning, go to verify, go to deny. We could have different verification methods like selfie or like ID verification or utility bill identification. All these ways, again, individually based rules in each scenario where we could even disable the rule if we don't want to have it on. So full control over what we want to have rules based on. And that's how kind of Fraud Judge is going to operate based on these rules. In some cases, like with the verification, we might need to send an email verification for them. All this happens directly through the Fraud Judge app. Really easy to set up and no code required at all. You can customize the template as well. And the verification process is really easy. It's email notification based on this email template. I'll show you how to customize it. And it's going to then give them the option or show them how to ID verify. You might give them multiple options like selfie and ID, or you might just ask for ID. All the data submission, everything happens through Fraud Judge, so you don't have to deal with any of that. So all you need to do is choose a subscription plan. Show you this over here. We'll get started. They have the free plan over here. They also have the all-inclusive plan. I'm going to go with this one, and we'll click approve over here. This will now bring us back right into the app where we're going to have things automatically set up. So we can go and customize our rules over here. We can create different order verification methods. We're going to have it all listed in here. So first of all, we'll have our orders list. This is going to be a real-time list of your actual orders. And as you load into it, you'll see that this is pre-checked. It's only going to show orders that require action, right? Orders that Fraud Judge has somehow flagged for your attention. This is going to depend on your rules, right? So you can uncheck this, you'll just see all of your orders. But otherwise, you'll see like action status in terms of what you need to do, if it's pending or if it needs verification. We can have an allow or deny list. You might want to add a customer or specifically deny a customer from shopping. You can go ahead and do that with those rules. Now we have our overall rules here. And this is going to be basically saying what's going to happen, right? Are we going to give a warning? Are we going to verify or are we going to deny? And we set our verify template, right? We have the ability to change that in the email template. But these are all of the different basically scenarios. And you could hover over the eye over here. It's going to tell you exactly what's going on, like for each option. So let's start billing and shipping address mismatch, right? Pretty obvious in terms of the name, right? So let's say we have an order where the billing address and the shipping address are mismatched. Now, this isn't exactly a huge sign of fraud. And you see that the default over here is to warn. Basically, this could be an order to watch, but not one to perform any other action on. And you see that we have the ability over here, warning, verify, or deny. We could turn on the rule and basically decide what we want to do here. We could also just disable it if we don't even want to deal with it at all. Right, totally fine to do that. But, we have this basically on default over here enabled with the warning. Okay, I don't think this really warrants anything more than that. Not too uncommon to have a different billing and shipping address. You'll see some of the other examples here. They're kind of more obvious. So we come over here, compare the countries between billing, shipping, and IP address, right? If two of these three don't match, then maybe there's something going on here, right? This could be a bigger sign of something like credit card fraud. We might want to go to verify here. We can go and say, okay, I'm going to need we could do ID or we could do selfie or both, right? And we need this. Selfie is typically the easiest one to get them to do. Or we could just simply deny, right? I don't recommend disabling here. Right? This is kind of a big sign that something is up. So same billing address was found on more than 3 accounts, okay? Unless they're abusing something like a coupon code, there's probably not a good reason for them to be doing this. So this might be something where you immediately deny. Or you set up verification again, and in this case, maybe you do an ID or you do the selfie. So same kind of goes for all of these different things. We'll go through here and kind of click on which ones we want. Same shipping address, right? This is the same thing that we saw before on that previous one. So I'll go to deny over there. Email doesn't contain username, right? Might be something that we don't really care much about. Email doesn't contain surname. We might turn that off. More than 5 digits in email handle, right? This is just kind of, if you read this, kind of by statistical analysis, right? Emails that have multiple digits in them are more scammy, right? For lack of a better word. We could put this on warning. We could have it on verify, or you could disable, right? Really up to you. You could always enable something back, put it on warning over here. Maybe you want to set it to, 10 digits in there to then go and deny. You can go ahead and get creative with this as well. Phone is suspicious, right? This is typically a weird phone format. It could be one that you call for verification on. More than one customer is using the same phone number, right? We're going to turn this on and we'll deny that, right? We could even set this for 30 days. So if you only want to, and typically this could be a big sign for fraud, right? People using a free phone number over and over, something like that. Same checkout IP. We're going to go to deny over here. Product count larger than normal. So this is actually pretty useful. Maybe you're selling print-on-demand products. You sell, the average is 1.8 products per order. So under 2 products per order. So maybe, on any given day, you have a handful of orders that people buy 3 or 4 or 5. But, never are you going to see a 50-piece order, right? That's something that's fraudulent. Now, if you're selling something where you can see 50 pieces, you could ignore this. You could just turn this off. But for me, in years and years and years of selling, I've never got a 50-piece order for T-shirts and hoodies and things like that. So depends on what you're selling, right? If you're selling wall canvas, you're not going to get more than 10 wall canvas or 20 wall canvas at a time. So you can go ahead, set that up to be verify, or honestly, just go to deny on that one. Single unit quantity, same thing, right? Unless you're selling something that people are typically buying a lot of. Purchase value, maybe be safe and put 10,000 or 5,000. Depends on what you're selling. If you have high ticket items, maybe it's 50,000. Depends on what you're selling here. If you don't want to have a limit, you could turn that off. Same, like I said, go down the list. Each and every one of them over here. Customer risk is high. Customer risk is medium. This is Shopify's kind of alert, so they take that data into consideration as well. You could set medium to deny. Medium to verify, and high to deny. And we have all these settings, and you can go kind of look at here in a more granular way. We were just looking at all. But these are the rules, right? This is how Fraud Judge is going to operate. This all happens in the background, remember. So we're just giving Fraud Judge the parameters to operate and protect our store. So I'll save these changes up here. And we'll go to email template. Okay, here's our email template that we saw at the beginning for the verification. We could put this over here. It's going to pull our shop automatically over here. We could say action needed ASAP to verify. We could even send a preview email over here. That's what it's going to look like in terms of them starting the verification. And it's all going to happen directly through Fraud Judge. So we're never dealing with any personal information or anything like that. All about Fraud Judge working for our store. And you see our dashboard now, we have our rules enabled, we have our rules disabled, we can always turn those back on. And what we're going to start to see is as our orders come in, hopefully a 100% order rate, but if there's any fraud or anything like that, it's going to detect it. Sometimes it's going to ask them to verify, right? We'll see how many verifications, how many denials, and how many warnings based on the rules that we set. Very easy to do. We don't need to do anything else now because Fraud Judge is now enabled in our store. Here are some actual orders that have gone through with Fraud Judge installed, and you see that the different action statuses, they've actually picked out 2 that need verification pending, and this is really based on our rules. And I'll show you an example. We can click into one of these orders. You're going to see in this order, there is different verification statuses. In this case, they didn't meet the criteria to need to verify. We see warnings in terms of some of the fraud risk details, but none of them that triggered our rule set. So really, we have full control over this in terms of any of these different kind of warning and or verification statuses. We'll be able to come over here and we could accept, deny. We could go ahead and request verification since it didn't automatically do that if we wanted to, but we're going to come over here and just accept the order. So that was the Fraud Judge Fraud Prevention app. Highly recommended, really easy to use, and also super powerful. This is a great anti-fraud solution for your Shopify store. It's a must-have. Click the link directly below this video. Get this into your store. Highly recommended. I hope this helped you make some money, and I'll talk to you real soon.